Hello and welcome back to Morsels and Motors. You join me today wearing a mask on a train.
Woo.
This is the first time I've been on a train for well over a year. I think the last time was February 2020. So it's a very exciting day for me. But that's not the only reason today's an exciting day. The reason I'm on the train is because I'm going to South London, or Surrey as some people might call it, but I still call it South London as it's within the M25. To go and collect a car. So stay tuned to find out what it is and how I get on. On my second train now, just had to change at London Bridge to take this southern service from London Bridge to Surrey, because we were stopping at a place called Ewell East. Never heard of it. It's my first glimpse of the car. I've just got out of the train station and it's literally right next to it. That's exciting. Well, now we cut to a few hours later and I'm home in my Fiesta. I'm sorry I haven't taken any footage on the way, but I had to go from South London near Epsom all the way back up to Cambridge, and it was a South Circular and North Circular. It was grim, and I just wanted to get out of there and get home, so I didn't stop and take footage on the way. Sorry about that. But anyway, here it is. Here she is. I've decided that she's going to be called Gemma Collins, or the GC, because of the number plate and the fact that it's from Essex, so I think it seems appropriate. So she is a 1989, April 1989 registered Ford Fiesta Mark III. And the very important thing about it is that it is a popular, which means it is the base model. Popular, as you see, which means it's absolutely base, and there are so many things that it does not have, which brings me great joy. But I don't even know where to start. There's so much to say about this car. We have some original dealer plates which look in terrible condition, so I'll get those replaced. An original dealer sticker and some AA stickers there. It's really solid around the fuel cap. I'm missing the centre caps for all four wheels, so I need to get those from somewhere if I can. There's a deep scratch there in the paint, which I'll obviously need to address. The sills are in remarkably good condition and have not been welded, but there is some rust just on the back of both of them, so I'll have to get that attended to. So let's have a look inside. And there it is. Let's start off with some very basic door cards. The higher up models would have had some fabric on this top bit here, but this is just vinyl. It's also been repaired with some staples or something in the past and needs a proper better repair, so I'll attend to that. Got a broken window winder. Some not terribly attractive speakers, I don't think. I might replace those if I can. And coming into the cabin, we have the beginnings of popular spec, which is no glove box lid, for example, no clock, which should be in there. It does have a radio, which is an aftermarket one. I haven't yet figured out whether that works. It does have a cigarette lighter, which I didn't think the Popular had, so maybe that's been added as an extra as well. We have a manual choke, and we have 63,000 miles on the clock, and I have no reason to think that it's 163. I think it's genuine 63. Down here we have a 4-speed manual transmission, handbrake, and the seats are in remarkably good nick. I remember when friends had Fords of this era back in the early noughties, the seats were absolutely shagged. The fabric was really kind of baggy and horrible, and these are in really good nick, so that is very good. We have a rear seat with my coat on it, again in pretty good nick. There's a bit of a stain on there. The driver's seat also needs a really good clean. You'll note the absence of a parcel shelf because this is a Fiesta Popular. We do not get parcel shelves. Some damage on the boot panel there, which I'll need to attend to, see if I can get a replacement at some point. We do have seat belts in the rear, 3, including a lap one in the middle. In the glove box there is a history book. I haven't looked through it in great detail, but it seems thick and varied, including Danny's Mega Rad driving playlist, which I love, from Gemma. Oh my god, it's just a sign, isn't it, that this car's got to be called Gemma Collins. Absolutely love it. Paramore, oh my days. Let's see if it works in the radio. Well, something's happening. I think only through one speaker, but we'll take that. I'm going to get a proper Ford radio for it at some point, but if I can get this one fixed up in the meantime, that'll do. As extras to its popular spec, it looks like it's had a passenger door mirror, because it shouldn't have one of those. And it's also got a rear wash wipe, which actually doesn't work, and came to life partly just as I was accelerating down onto the M11 and scared the life out of me, because the rubber must be very old and it was kind of screeching along the glass and I couldn't get it to stop for a while, but eventually it stopped again. So I think it's a loose connection somewhere into the tailgate. I'll investigate that. And you have one boot strut on these, which I didn't really know. It's not terribly strong, so I think I might replace that. And inside the boot is really solid. Under the carpet, it's totally solid there. There's a little bit of moisture there and wetness, but the owner tells me that that light was a little loose, which is why it had been leaking, and he's tightened it up before I picked the car up. Got a crack in the driver's door mirror here, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully I can find some new glass for that. We have a little bit of vegetation growing in the bottom of the wing there. And then the worst bit on the car is this, which is the driver's side sill is probably a bit rusty and needs some attention, although it was only an advisory on the last MOT. The driver's door is a little odd. It looks like it's been repainted strangely, and the bare metal is showing along the top of it there, so I don't really understand what's going on here. Maybe it's a replacement door, I'm not sure. I'll investigate and repair as necessary. We've got a few little dings and dents, and we've also got a faded square, whether you can see it there, where the garage's sign used to be mounted, and that's because this car was owned by a garage in South London, or Surrey, which used this car as their kind of runaround for driving to customers' houses to pick up their cars. Then they would leave this on the driveway and drive their customer's car home to the garage to have work done. So that's what it was used for the last 5 odd years, I gather. And then it was bought by one of the people who worked in the garage in order to do an XR2 or engine conversion, because it was such a good shell. But he's bought something else instead and decided to change his plans and sell this on. So I'm very happy to have found it. Let's have a look under the bonnet. So under here we have a 1 litre or 999cc HCS engine, which is essentially the Valencia and the Kent before it, but it is remarkably sweet, and I will start it up and let you hear it in just a moment. It is so sweet the way it's running. The guy who owned it had adjusted the tappets, he said, not that long ago, so it sounds brand new. It really does. Sounds much better than I remember them in the 90s. They sound like sewing machines, and this does not at all. In fact, it's so quiet when you're in the car. When you come to a standstill after driving it for a while, I'm convinced that it's stalled, but it hasn't. It's just such a quiet little engine. So I'm really impressed with that. Rubbers around the windscreen and the tailgate as well are both perished, so might wonder whether we could do something about that, hopefully. Little Ford extra cover sticker there, which is quite cute. Lots of the glass is etched as well. Apparently that window there has been replaced at some point because it had been smashed, and there is still some glass on the bottom of the car to prove that. So that started up. I've got two keys. It looks like one of them operates the boot and the other one operates everything else, which I don't think is quite right. I will investigate and see what needs to happen, but I definitely need to get a copy of both these keys done in case I lose them. Otherwise, unhappiness will ensue. Just make sure we're in neutral. Here we are, and we'll start it up. That's it. It's so quiet. Sweet little thing. And here's the engine running under the bonnet. There's a distinct smell of oil here. He said the rocker cover gasket had been leaking and has been replaced, but he never, when he was doing the tappets, but he never cleaned the oil off the engine. So you could do with doing that. Apparently it's a newish battery, and also the clutch is only about 500 miles old. So that's really good as well. The seller also fitted 2 brand new tyres this morning. Don't think they're particularly amazingly made, but they will do nicely. There we go. A bit more of forest living in the car there as well. Fun though, such fun. And here it is running from the back. Really sweet little car. It drove beautifully as well. I drove it all the way home from South London. It did not miss a beat. It felt like a much newer car than it is. It felt like it was maybe 12 years old, not 32 years old, because that's what this is. It really is 32 years old, which is kind of hard to believe, really. That's it for now. I thought I'd just give you a little introduction to this car, and there will be more coming. Bye.